Second video of second chapter in economics. Today we are going to discuss about the different goals of 5-year plans, impact of 5-year plans on Indian economy, especially in the field of agriculture. In the previous video we have discussed about the goals of 5-year plan. First two goals of 5-year plans were already discussed. The next two is self-reliance and equity. These are the four goals of 5-year plan: growth, modernization, which was already discussed in the previous video. The next two goals are self-reliance and equity. Self-reliance. Self-reliance is reducing or eliminating the dependency on other nations. That means preventing import of goods from other nations and encouraging produce those goods domestically. Self-reliance means reducing the dependency on other nations. So we were depending on them for goods. In that place, we are now forced to produce that goods domestically. So it's essential for a developing nation like India to follow self-reliance as a planning objective, because at the time of independence, India was completely dependent on foreign countries for food, technology and capital goods, which affected India's sovereignty adversely. So this led to the foreign government interference in Indian internal policies. The next goal is equity means reduction in inequality. It refers to equitable distribution of the national income. For every nation, it's essential to have a growth along with equity. If there is only growth, that means without equity in the economy, then it means everyone is not enjoying the benefit of growth. If everyone wants to enjoy the benefits of growth, then there should be equity. Equity means equitable distribution of national income. Or we can say reduction in inequality is called equity. So in this regard, planners have to ensure that the prosperity of economic growth should reach all the people. All people have to enjoy the prosperity of economic growth. So individuals should be able to fulfill their basic needs of food, house, education and healthcare. The government should ensure appropriate allocation of wealth among the people to reduce economic inequality. If inequality is there, there will be poverty. So, in order to avoid that, there should be equitable distribution of national income. Government should ensure that all the wealth of the nation is properly distributed among the people in order to reduce economic inequality. So these are the two, these are the four goals of 5-year plans: modernization, self-reliance, equity and growth. The next topic is impact of 5-year plans on Indian economy, especially in the field of agriculture. So the policymakers of independent India dealt with the issues related to no growth, no equity during colonial rule. There were no growth, no equity. So, in order to have a change, government introduced land reforms and promoted the use of high-yielding variety seeds. So, HYV seeds is a type of seed that yield more compared to that others. So, in order to have a growth and equity, government introduced land reforms and promoted the use of high-yielding variety seeds, shortly called HYV seeds, in agriculture. So what is land reforms? Land reforms means achieving equity in land distribution. It mainly aimed at achieving equity in land distribution. The motto behind land reform was land to the tiller. If tiller means the one who is hardworking in the field. If the tiller is made the owner of the land, then he will invest in land, and that will lead to increased production. Land reform means giving land to the one who is hardworking on the land. Land to the tiller was the motto of land reforms. The main aim was equity in land distribution. Land reforms consisted of the following policy initiatives. So land reforms includes abolition of intermediaries. In the first chapter we have discussed about zemindars. Zemindar is a person who is the owner of the land, who collects tax or revenue from the farmers. So the very first one is abolition of intermediaries. Now we are going to abolish all the intermediaries like zemindars. Giving land to the tiller. Now we are giving land to the proper person, that means to the farmer. Then fixing a ceiling on the maximum size of land that an individual could own. That means land ceiling. It is called a land ceiling. Land ceiling means we are fixing. This is the maximum size of land that an individual could own. Then there will be sufficient equity in the land distribution. Someone holds surplus land. That means if suppose example, we are fixing land ceiling as 2 acre. An individual could own only 2 acre. If a person own more than 2 acre, then that land is called a surplus land. We are going to redistribute this surplus land among the landless people. If anybody does not have any land, then we will give that surplus land to the landless people. So land reforms consisted of the following policies. The very first one is abolition of intermediaries like zemindars, then redistribution of land to the tiller. Then land ceiling. Land ceiling means fixing a ceiling. It means fixing this is the maximum size of land that an individual could own, like that. Then redistribution of the surplus land. If surplus land is there, it will be redistributed to the landless people. So land reforms, I think the portion is almost okay. Land reforms means the main aim behind land reform was equity in land distribution. That means making the tiller the owner of land. It was successfully implemented in states like Kerala, West Bengal, but even here the reforms had major deficiencies. That means poor landless agriculture workers who really worked on the land did not get any land. Most of the agricultural laborers belonged to the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. So this poor and marginalized section did not benefit from land reforms. This was a result of land reforms. Anyway, it was a huge successful. The next one is Green Revolution. Again, I am repeating, land reforms and Green Revolution are the major initiatives introduced in agriculture during 1950 to 1990. Then what is Green Revolution? So now we are not going to discuss about Green Revolution. We are discussing about the things happened just before introducing Green Revolution. At the time of independence, large chunk of farmers were dependent on the monsoon, because of which they faced innumerable problems in farming activities. We know that our cultivation was heavily dependent on monsoon. Then technology and machinery used in farming were obsolete. Means we were using the outdated technology, which resulted low agriculture productivity. Then, so this was the condition during before introducing Green Revolution. Then Indian agriculture suffered from low productivity of food grains as more emphasis was given to cash crops during the colonial rules. The shift from food grains to cash crops is called the commercialization of agriculture. Indian farmers were more concentrating on cash crops. Then obviously what will be the result? There will be low productivity of food grains. It will lead to shortage of food grains in India. landlords and lenders exploited farmers because they were dependent on landlords and rural money lenders to meet their credit requirements. Farmers were heavily depending on landlords and money lenders to meet their credit requirements. Okay, now we are going to discuss about Green Revolution. In the previous slides, we were discussing about the condition of agriculture just before introducing Green Revolution. So what is Green Revolution? Green Revolution is the result of all these things. What are the things? Green Revolution include the important ingredients of Green Revolution were use of HYV seeds, using high yielding variety seeds, use of chemical fertilizers and pesticides, use of modern implements like tractors, pump sets, etc. Then irrigation facilities, marketing facilities for agricultural produce, and the last one, credit facilities at a low rates of interest. These are the different ingredients of Green Revolution. We were using HYV seeds, chemical fertilizers, modern implements, irrigation facilities are, then marketing facilities were the, then credit facilities at a lower rate of interest. Please keep in mind these are the different important ingredients of Green Revolution. Green Revolution is the result of using these things. HYV seeds, chemical fertilizers, modern implements, marketing facilities, credit facilities and irrigation facilities. Means just before introducing Green Revolution, we were depending on landlords for landlords for credit facilities, and they were charging high rates of interest. Now credit facilities are available at a lower rates of interest. Then irrigation facilities, instead of depending on monsoon, irrigation facilities were implemented. Then modern implements used, HYV seeds used, chemical fertilizers were used. So by using these things, the agriculture productivity increased. That's called a Green Revolution. Green Revolution led to a dramatic increase in the food production in India, and the father of Green Revolution is called Dr. M.S. Swaminathan. Father of Green Revolution in India is called Dr. M.S. Swaminathan. Merits of Green Revolution. India became self-sufficient in food grains. Productivity increased. India became self-sufficient. Then increased marketed surplus. Marketed surplus means the surplus after meeting the farmer's requirement. The surplus can be sold in the market and cash can be realized. So increased market surplus, reduced dependence on imports and food aid. Now we are able to produce whatever food that we want. Means food production increased. Then reduced the crisis of food grains, benefiting poor people. It benefited poor people a lot. Then it enabled the government to create buffer stock of food grains to be used during the times of food shortage. Buffer stock means actually it is used at the time of food shortage. It is a surplus, and that we will keep. It can be used during the times of food shortage. These are the different merits of Green Revolution. India became self-sufficient in food grains, increased market surplus, reduced dependence on imports and food aid, reduced the crisis of food grains, benefiting poor people, enabled the government to create buffer stock of food grains to be used during the times of food shortage. And what are the demerits of Green Revolution? It increased the disparity between rich and poor farmers. Actually, it benefited a lot rich farmers. So the disparity between rich and poor was widened. Then the HYV crops were prone to attack from insects and pests. It was prone to attack from insect. Then high dose of chemical fertilizers and pesticides poisoned the soil. As we know, we were using chemical fertilizers. It is not good for our soil. Then the last one, increased use of machinery. I mean, we were shifting to technological things means modern implements. It caused unemployment. So these are the different